Grain Elevator and Processing Society is hosting their annual Jeeps Exchange Conference at the Kansas City Convention Center, February 22nd through the 25th of 2025. Jeeps Exchange is the biggest and best show in the grain industry with more than 400 exhibitors and 45 hours of education. It is the best place to find grain handling and processing operation solutions all in one place. Jeeps Exchange brings together industry professionals from across the world to help build professional networks and connect with the products you need. Come walk the trade show floor, take part in live demonstrations, innovation stations, and see new equipment. Make valuable connections through a variety of fun and exciting social events. Early bird pricing ends January 28th. Learn more and register at jeeps.com/exchange. IBT Industrial Solutions has been your expert and product support partner in the grain industry for over 75 years. They solve the hard problems to help keep your business running. As a one-stop shop for products and services ranging from motion amplification to conveying solutions, they also stock product inventory from over 1,200 suppliers available now at one of their 37 locations across the Midwest. Come visit IBT Solutions at the Jeeps Exchange, booth 2608, or go to ibtinc.com/grain. IBT Industrial Solutions, your trusted grain industry partner. Unlock the hidden potential of your grain handling operations with invaluable insights from a conveyor belt virtuoso from IBT Industrial Solutions. Get ready to optimize your operations. Hello and welcome to the show. Welcome to the Whole Grain Podcast. My name is Jim Lenz, your host and producer of the show and the Director of Global Training and Education at Jeeps, where the mission of the Grain Elevator and Processing Society is to champion, connect, and serve the global grain industry and our members. At Jeeps, we work to be the global community and thought leader for the grain industry, which feeds and fuels the world. Thanks for listening today and for joining the network of thousands of other grain handling and processing professionals across the globe taking strategic steps to grow professionally. The Whole Grain Show will give you the competitive advantage to win at work so you can make more of an impact. Today's guest offers 30 years of wisdom on conveyor belt systems. As the operation manager and grain product specialist for IBT Industrial Solutions Grain Division, Joe Altenhofen walks us through the critical checkpoints of maintenance practices, the profound impact of choosing the right belt features, and the strategic support IBT Industrial Solutions provides to the grain sector, from custom engineering to on-the-spot product training. This episode is a treasure trove of professional anecdotes and actionable advice promising to elevate your understanding of the conveyor systems that are essential for grain handling efficiency. All that and more on this episode of the Whole Grain Podcast. Well, let's get started. Conveyor belts are the backbone of efficient and modern grain handling facilities, ensuring a seamless and automated process from the point of intake through processing, storage, and distribution. Their importance lies in optimizing efficiency, preserving grain quality, and contributing to the overall productivity and safety of the grain handling industry. That's why it's a complete pleasure to welcome a seasoned veteran when it comes to conveyor belts. Our guest for today is Joe Altenhofen. He's a technical sales professional from IBT Industrial Solutions. Thank you for your participation in Whole Grain, Joe.
Thank you. I'm privileged this morning to be talking with you.
To allow our listeners to get to know you and to start the show with a bit of positive spirit, could you share with our listeners a mantra or success quote that you live by professionally?
I have several that I go by. One is, I believe in treating others as you wish to be treated. The other would be promise to deliver and deliver on what you promise. And the third would be ask yourself at the end of the day if you contributed 100% to your efforts.
I love those. Great words of wisdom. I appreciate that. Thanks for sharing. Now, to provide some context for our Whole Grain listeners who are joining us, Joe, could you provide a brief overview of the great work of IBT Industrial Solutions, especially as they relate to the grain industry?
Yes. IBT Grain Division offers the grain industry products and services tailored to the grain industry requirements to support our customer needs. IBT Grain Division has 84-inch wide conveyor belt slitting and custom bucket elevator punching capacities. We offer engineering support for calculating existing conveyor system configurations and system capacity upgrades. We have abundant quantities of on-hand grain belting inventory and related MRO item inventory. We offer same-day service for those critical downtime situations. We offer product and maintenance training to educate customers on what to and how to prevent downtime situations. We offer guidance in proper product selections, application, and installation of those products. IBT currently has 39 branch sales offices in 11 states throughout the Midwest and central United States, as far west as Phoenix, Arizona, and as far east as Spartanburg, South Carolina. Our grain division team supports the 39 IBT sales branch offices customers with grain industry products, product knowledge, and application guidance, troubleshooting expertise. Our 42,500 square feet grain division warehouse is centrally located in Wichita, Kansas. Being centrally located in Wichita, Kansas allows us to ship product to any location in the continental U.S. and Canada with minimal transit times. Through forwarding, we do ship product all over the world, China, India.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Now, Joel, you have a great selection of products and services. One of those services that your organization offers is individuals like yourself who have years of experience, who have worked in the grain industry, who's worked in conveyor products, rubber products. Just if you don't mind, share with our listeners a little bit about you and your background.
I'm currently the operations manager and grain product specialist for IBT Industrial Solutions grain division. I have been in the conveyor manufacturing and industrial rubber products business for 35 years. The last 30 years, I've been focused more so on grain industry products, such as grain conveyor and bucket elevator belting, along with other maintenance and repair products.
Thank you for sharing that, Joe. Now, today in this episode, we'll shed light on a crucial aspect of grain handling, selecting the right conveyor belt. Unlike some other commodities, grain is a fragile product and handling it with care is crucial. Big picture wise, Joe, can you elaborate on the significance that conveyor belts play in country elevators and terminal elevators, thereby stressing the importance of maintenance and optimizing systems?
Yes. Conveyor belting and bucket elevator belting used in the grain elevators and grain terminal facilities are unique as they are required to meet or exceed OSHA compliance for static conductivity and MSHA, Mine Safety and Health Administration, compliance to have fire retardant properties. Also, grain belting should be comprised of MOR or SOR and abrasion-resistant compounds. To expand on this, grain belting covers are formulated to resist the oily nature of various grains, along with having 60 to 65 durometer hardness on the belt covers to have a cushioning effect on the grain and also offer abrasion resistancy as well. Maintaining the conveyor system components and belting is key to safe and proper operations and preventing critical downtime. We would suggest PM system inspections to be performed often, scheduled daily, weekly, monthly, but often. The things to look for during an inspection would be proper belt alignment, overall belt condition, top and bottom belt cover inspection, the condition of the belt splice itself, inspect drive pulley lagging condition, overall conveyor systems check, including drive package, bearings, lubrication of systems, drive and tail pulley, and carry idlers, and along with proper tensionings for some of the items that need to be inspected.
All right. Thank you, Joe, for sharing that. Joel, in what ways does the conveyor belt play in ensuring the smooth and continuous movement of grains in the agricultural process?
Conveyor belt systems are the most efficient way to convey grain carefully throughout the process to achieve capacity requirements. Grain conveyor belt systems are designed to convey large volumes of grain products through a series of troughing idlers matched with the proper belt for maximum load support and optimal conveyor systems performance. I'll add that a well-maintained conveyor system will convey grain steadily and uniformly through the process.
I'm kind of curious, since you have such great experience and you have a wide base of customers, you're having new customers all the time, you are seeing and hearing issues and challenges and problems that come up for facilities. If we look at the last 12 months, for example, in regards to grain belting, what are some of those specific problems that you have seen where you're able to consult and help with customers? Are there any common issues or trends that have emerged?
Common issues that we see here in the grain industry are worn and failed belt splices. Generally, that's due to either normal use or normal wear, or improper installation, or some other unforeseen obstacle within the conveyor system. Belt delamination is something we see as well. That is where the belt cover and carcass are separating. And generally, that's due to idler junction failure or improper bucket mounting hardware installation. Also, inadequate belt tensioning and the use of aggressive dust suppressants can have an effect on delamination of the belt.
Oh, really? Can you state more about that?
Generally, over the years, we've seen mineral oil used to suppress dust on the systems. Of course, grain dust is highly explosive, and so we try to negate that. The facilities try to negate that wherever they can. So in some situations, they will actually treat or spray their grain with a mineral oil or some other type of product to prevent the grain dust from accumulating in the facility. Some of the products out there used today can be a little aggressive towards the compounding of the belt and cause some belt delamination or deterioration.
That's a good point to be aware of and get concerned about. Thank you for sharing that. Another thing I want to ask you was about one of the things that you see is splicing of belts. Are there some tools that you have in stock that can support the splicing? I'm sure you do. What are some of the things that you offer to support splicing?
There are mechanical splices available. Common ones are called plate fasteners. There are also hinge fasteners. There are clamp style fasteners as well. The key thing here is that these fasteners should be comprised of a non-sparking alloy to keep from having a spark or source of ignition within the grain conveyor system.
That's good information. Now, it's no secret that in recent history, not just the grain industry, but it hit other verticals as well, the challenges faced in the supply chain affecting, in this case, availability of conveyor belts and other grain products. Has this situation started to level out in your mind? What changes have you witnessed?
Yeah, I believe that the supply chain issues have leveled out. Manufacturers' delivery times are down to a tolerable level. They are, in the past, during the supply chain challenges, we were looking at months for product delivery, and now they're down to days or weeks. So it has leveled out a bit. Manufacturers have adjusted acquiring and stocking more raw material, which has helped to alleviate the shortage. And they've also looked for alternative sources, raw materials, to shorten their lead times as well.
I'm curious how IBT's grain division adapted to the supply chain challenges in the recent history to ensure a consistent and timely supply of conveyor belts and grain products to customers. How did IBT prepare for this and for their customers?
Our procurement decision-making team here at IBT, we realized early on of the perceived supply chain challenges to come. So IBT, we stayed ahead of the supply chain shortages by increasing our inventory levels on crucial belting inventory and other related items. By doing so, raising our inventory levels, we could assure that our customer base was having inventory as needed, but also having inventory for the rising demand caused by availability of inventory drying up in the marketplace.
So that's good preparation by IBT Industrial, really forecasting needs, thinking about obviously the industry and the demand that there would be. So that's really good preparation. Great to hear. Joe, given your wealth of experience in connecting with so many organizations and individuals, I think our listeners may be interested in your perspective on what you believe are or at least some of the greatest challenges within the grain industry right now. And just as important, where do you believe are the greatest opportunities that exist in the grain handling and processing industry? What kind of trends or patterns are you willing to share from the many conversations you have with customers and clients, thinking broader grain industry?
Well, what I keep hearing is everyone is having staffing shortages. I believe that employment opportunities within the grain industry are in high demand, and they would offer a good career for anybody to follow in this industry. The grain industry has a lot of good people to work with. It's a great industry to be involved in, and people are again, generally very good to work with, and they are looking for young people to come into the industry and grow as their company grows. The other thing I'm hearing is they're looking for technology to monitor their systems remotely, as not to rely on some of their personnel climbing ladders or possible putting employees in hazardous situations to monitor equipment and such.
A lot of changes and adaptations that are occurring to help alleviate some of those issues. Joe, any other things that you see as trends right now or within the industry?
Again, I believe the trends would be the technology to offset the labor shortage. Everybody is looking for an answer because of the staffing issues. Grain storage has been a real need, and over the past few years been a high priority with a lot of facilities. See that trend continuing, that facilities will be adding more storage.
Yeah, those are some critical issues that are at stake right now. It's interesting to see how the industry has evolved in just a short number of years. Now, conveyor belts, as you know, play such a crucial role in the operations of grain elevators and terminal elevators for so many reasons. It was a pleasure to connect with you to offer your unique perspective, Joe. If Whole Grain Podcast listeners want to follow up with you and learn more about the products and solutions offered at IBT Industrial Solutions, what are the best ways for listeners to find out more information?
I would suggest going to our website, www.ibt.com, and follow the links to grain products, and that should lead you to my direction, and we'd be able to answer your questions, and you'll be able to see the product offerings that we have for the grain industry.
That's fantastic. You also have organizations post an article on your website on conveyor belts. It's quite extensive. I think that'll be a great resource. We'll put that in the show notes, of course, with the IBT website as well. Also, IBT Industrial Solutions will be at the upcoming Jeeps Exchange 2024. That's happening in a little bit. So excited for you and your team to be there. On behalf of the entire Jeeps team, we thank you for sharing your time and talents with Whole Grain listeners, Joe.
Thank you for having me today. Appreciate your interest in IBT.
On behalf of Jeeps, we want to express our gratitude to Joe and the IBT Industrial Solutions team for supporting the Grain Elevator and Processing Society. IBT Industrial Solutions supports the Jeeps Partner Program. They are a premier partner. If your organization would like to learn more and be involved in the Jeeps Partner Program, please reach out to sales@jeeps.com. IBT Industrial Solutions is also a platinum sponsor for Jeeps Exchange, which is the biggest and best show in the grain handling and processing industry. Learn more about the trade show floor, the educational sessions, and networking opportunities by visiting jeeps.com/exchange. Is this the first time you are listening to the Whole Grain Show? If so, we thank you for joining us. You'll find the show on your favorite podcast app and at jeeps.com/whole grain. You'll be able to access the audio player, see the show notes and links, and the transcripts of the episodes. The Whole Grain Show is a production of Jeeps, the Grain Elevator and Processing Society. The Grain Elevator and Processing Society is the largest organization dedicated to advancing the grain handling and processing industry. Be sure to check out jeeps.com. That's GEAPS.com. As you've heard in this show, Whole Grain offers a terrific opportunity to spotlight your business through audio ads. You can also be featured as a global thought leader by serving as a guest in the show as we work to advance the grain handling and processing industry. If you and your organization want to sponsor an episode and be a featured guest on the Whole Grain Show, please reach out to me, Jim Lenz, Director of Global Education at the Grain Elevator and Processing Society and host and producer of the show. We have an in-house audio production studio that can serve your needs, all from the comfort of a virtual environment. You can also reach out with any questions or comments you have, or perhaps let us know what you think of the show. We could feature your audio commentary in a future Whole Grain podcast episode. For all your needs and interests related to the podcast, please reach out to me, Jim Lenz. My email is james@jeeps.com, JAMES@GEAPS.com. We look forward to connecting with you. Continue listening, folks. Share the news of the show with your colleagues and friends. Have yourself a great day, and thanks for listening to Whole Grain.